and significant, you should say that, because guys, if I have some data here, and it looks like it's longer. We're talking about like 5 election years in this country. But if we shrink it down to just the last 2 election years, 2017 and 2022, if you look at the comparative analysis of campaign costs for all these things, there's been a steady increase in all these positions. The cost of running. I mean, right now, again, like you say, it's interesting that we have technology and we have AI and we have many new ways of doing perhaps the old thing. But at the same time, it's really difficult to run away from the actual cost. Let me connect with some of the people on the ground. Mulamba, where do you stand when you know on this particular subject? When you hear this, what comes to mind? Are you fired up by the possibility of having a cheaper, election, or are you intimidated by the reality of expensive elections in the country?
If you
Please
remember. If you remember what I said the last time I was here, last Tuesday, I said the same thing Panyamambo is saying. I asked, why do our elections have to be expensive? And how can we change that? And it appears the spirit is in this room. Because we have to intentionally.
Who said amen? All right, we'll come to you in a moment.
We have to intentionally ensure that our campaigns are not as expensive as they are right now. Because why do they have to be expensive? One, you have a voter who believes in handouts. How do I change your life by giving you 200 shillings, 100 shillings, 1,000 shillings? I have done the math. The sum total of money, probably myself or friends have gotten from politicians in the campaign period of 2017 to 2022 is less than 5,000. I mean, how many times have you received 1,000 shillings from Ruto? How many times have you received the 200 shillings or 500 shillings from your governor? The sum total of that money is less than 5,000. Is 5,000 worth your vote? Is your vote worth 5,000 shillings? So we have to change that. If, for example, the current governor did not pass by my area because they do their rallies, say, most times they get to our areas once or twice throughout the entire campaign period. If my governor did not pass by the area I stay, did that mean that on that particular day I would not have had my meals? Would I have died? Nothing would have changed. I would have sourced a way to feed myself. I would have sourced a way to pay for my bills. And that is the kind of civic education we're supposed to push to our people out here. And the 5,000 shillings you collected from your politicians in the last election cycle did not change your life. And it is not going to change your life in 2027 or before that. So we need to intentionally ensure that our campaigns become cheaper. We need to leverage on digital campaigning, as he's saying, because I have guys who go on live and they have close to 50,000 people watching. Say, for example, if you were to put Aziad, Mulamoa, and any other influencer from the Western region together to do a joint live, that would be close to 200,000 people. That is how many stadiums, going by the capacity of 60,000 ya Kasarani. So we need to leverage that and we need to think about that. When the president was invited, the Twitter, I still call it Twitter, to the Express, he had around 200,000 people listening. And he admitted to it himself that it appears that the new wave will be digital. That I, as the president of Kenya, have never had this amount of people listening to me at a go. Because the president did not even fill the Kasarani Stadium. He had around 30,000 people listening to him the last time, on his last rally. And now he has a platform through which he can address 200,000 people. We also need to ensure that probably push for lower nomination fees from some of these parties. And I do not have the idea that we should join their parties in the first place, by the way. I think Kasmoil is lost, and I think any young person in this room or without this room, outside this room, who thinks that ODM, Jubilee, DCP, or any other established political party is going to help us, I think I need to push you and nudge you and remind you that you need to wake up from that slumber and I know there are
A member
parties,
from
there are party
Tujibebe party is
representatives
just
here.
itching to respond.
They need to wake up. As for the Tujibebe party, this party belongs to William Kabogo, if I'm not wrong. William Kabogo was a strong critic of the current administration before he got a position in this government. So now today, when you are outside government, it is okay to criticize government. But when you get into government, you now stop seeing what was bad in this government. Rigathi Gachagua himself is complaining today because he was ousted from his position as deputy president. If he was deputy president today, he would not be criticizing William Ruto, as was his custom when he was deputy president. So we need to, I think, reason differently. We need to think better, and we need to be conscious to ourselves.
All right. I'll come back to that in a second. Let me hear from